Daily Bread. In a Sunday morning teen class that I was teaching one time, we were exploring 12 disciplines from this Winterfest event that the teens had attended in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It was over 10,000 people together, just screaming and praising God and seeing concerts and hearing great teaching. It was a great thing. In one of the lessons, the teens, I was teaching them about the concept called simplicity. We seldom ever consider how little that we truly need to live. Jesus owned no real estate. He had no form of transportation. He had no technology. In fact, he had nothing that we know of beyond the clothes on his back. Simplicity. Being able to live with only what you truly need. It's hard to swallow in a society whose economy depends so heavily on consumer spending. What if suddenly everyone were to simplify their lives and only bought what they really needed? Would the engine of our economy grind to a halt? I don't know, but I know a lot of Mad Men marketing agents would be out of a job. The story came to mind as I thought about the idea of simplicity. It's in Exodus chapter 16 as the Hebrews were in the desert on their way to the Promised Land. They were worried about having enough to eat, and the Lord heard them. Each evening he supplied them with quail, and each morning he supplied a strange substance which they had never seen before. It looked like frost on the ground after the morning dew had dissipated, and it tasted like wafers made with honey. They called it manna, or Hebrew for a word that sounds like, what is it? Funny stuff, this manna. You couldn't store it up. If you didn't eat it the same day, it went bad. And the Lord told them to gather as much as they wanted for just one day. And there was enough manna for about half a gallon per person of every one of the Jews every morning, and every morning except on the Sabbath day. There was no manna from heaven on the Sabbath day because people were supposed to rest and not gather food and worship God. So the day before the Sabbath, they gathered twice as much to tide them over. And amazingly, the extra that they took up on the Sabbath day and the sixth day did not go bad. Don't you imagine that Jesus had this history of manna in mind when he taught his disciples to pray for their daily bread? Give us this day just what we need to get through this one day. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus taught us not to worry about stuff that we can't control in the future because our Heavenly Father knows what we need to get by. Jesus said, let tomorrow worry about itself because each day has enough trouble of its own. When you're in the midst of some struggle and you find yourself sick with worry over how things might turn out tomorrow, let me encourage you to take a daily bread perspective. Gather enough manna from the Lord for today and leave tomorrow in His hands. Daily Bread from DeHart.